Okay, before I get into the watch this video for Wednesday, December 6th, another reminder, happy hour is Thursday, right at the closing bell. We're going to have a few drinks. I think I might be switching from whiskey to beer, but that's not relevant. We're going to have a few drinks and play Day Trading Jeopardy. It's super fun, and it's right at the closing bell on Thursday. So if you can show up, we have a really good time, and then we also actually talk stocks and answer any questions anybody has about how we trade. All right, so try to show up. It's fun. What you can do to get registered, just go to my website, greatstockpicks.com with an X. Scroll down, put your email address, and submit it in there. And all of our emails have registration links for anything we got going on. Jeopardy, you know, the happy hour, any of our free webinars that we have coming up. Our next serious webinar, in other words, non-Jeopardy, non-happy hour webinar, will probably be in January. And it should be a really good one. So we hope you show up for that too. Anyway, so get yourself registered. And a quick screenshot here I wanted to share because I always say this. We are not like other trading rooms. I've seen trading rooms out there that the moderator would be buying up here after like 4 or 5 green candles, teaching people to buy into upside shape. We also call that chasing. You know, if the moderator's got enough people in the room, it usually gets enough oomph out of chasing to get enough people in it to where he can or she can still scale out. But we never teach that. We teach stuff like this, where Wayne called this, when I say over 30, that means it's shorthand for over $3.30, because this was yesterday's high, then this morning you had a lower high, and then you had a lower high again and a tight flag. So Wayne's thesis, and there was a seller on the tape at $3.30. So Wayne's thesis, if it breaks that seller, it could start knocking down these dominoes, which would be the early high of day, and then yesterday's high, and off to the races. Stacked catalyst. You hear us talk about it all the time. Took a screenshot to show you that Wayne posted that and put a reminder. We were already on the mic talking about it earlier, and then when it started to come back up again, Wayne posted a reminder, as you can see right here. Scott, fairly new member the last couple days in chat. I think it's been a couple days. Typed in, I just found the difference between you guys and the other chat rooms I've been in. And I asked him what he meant, and then his response, DPW, no pump or hype, just incredibly solid thesis and education on it. Allowed all of us to watch it and play it if we wanted, and then I already did get the email from Scott wanting the link to upgrade, and we get that a lot. I've been getting a lot of emails from members just showing me their P&L, and that's the thing Wayne and I are most proud of, is that once you, especially if you take our course and you're in our chat room, you don't log in every day wondering, man, am I going to screw up today? Man, am I going to blow up my account? Because you know what you're going to look for, and you know you're not going to trade unless you get it, right? All of our trades are meant to be green right away after the entry, just like that DPW I just showed you. Matter of fact, that wasn't the only call Wayne made on it today. He made another one right here. Right there, through 301. Look at this. Talk about green right away. Goes to 340 before rolling back over. So 2 great calls by Wayne in that one. But you'll notice a common theme in all of our calls are they should work right away. And this wasn't an official call, but I actually mentioned, even just another example, I said, hey guys, PXS has been so crazy that this 5-minute buy setup might actually work. All right, now I want to be fair and completely transparent. I didn't take this, right? I'd already had my morning goal in the bank, I think, in the first 15 minutes. But I said, this thing is just crazy enough, and I've seen crazier things happen, that if this triggers on 5s, which would be over 527 right here on this next candle, which it did, I said, it might just get short. I said, shorts have to be nervous as hell with the move it made here and the move it made here, and then it sells off and they start shorting, and it starts to curl up. And look what happens. It ends up halting here on a volatility halt, and then opening all the way up here and ripping through the highs. Huge move. And had some members make some nice money on it. Now, it's not on the results page because it wasn't an official call. It's just an example of an idea that I put out over the mic. But even though I didn't take it, it's just an example of what goes on in our room. And everything that we call or trade has a thesis behind it and is always explained. Where was it again? I think it was maybe DPW. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, there was another stock today that was literally just, it was CUR, I think. CUR, Jane from the UK, one of my favorite members, calls this on a 5-minute buy setup today over 125. It was already on our gap playlist, so we were all watching it. So if you didn't see Jane's post, then as this comes up and gets near 130, then you had Wayne say, hey guys, and he's on the microphone, and he says, hey guys, this CUR getting volume red to green might work. So if you didn't catch Jane's idea, which is long here, stop here, you still could have got in on Wayne's idea right around 130, 131, 132, and the thing just goes nuts. Again, another low-risk setup and a huge mover. The teamwork in there is fantastic. But, the point I was making is somebody in chat was telling me there's another room, didn't get long till like here. Still worked for him, or her, whoever it was, right? Still worked, but this is like the opposite of what we teach. I would never get long after what I call upside shape. So our entries, to me, are something that you can replicate, right? If you're trading on your own and your mentor gets hit by a bus or a train, are you still going to be able to continue to buy stuff after upside shape and hope to get some more out of it, right? So anyway, our course, our chat is all to teach you A+ setups that should work right away, and they're never buying upside shape. They're never chasing. Every entry, as I say, as we teach, I can explain in detail 2 or 3 different reasons why I'm calling it at that price. All right. So anyway, I get to feeling kind of cruddy watching people out there being taught to chase, being taught to, hoping they get a little extra momentum. None of that stuff is repeatable, in my opinion, if you trade on your own. Some of that is like almost dependent on having a bunch of people piling in after, if you're going to learn to chase. So anyway, and again, when chasing works, to me, it just reinforces a bad habit. I've been lecturing all day today, man. I was lecturing in chat too, and I didn't mean to get on a high horse and lecture here too, but we do want people to understand that trading is possible. Still no red days for me in November and now December so far. And I know I'm jinxing myself when I say that, but I say it to just show that having a methodology and learning to stay in cash unless and until you have a proper setup where you're not chasing, but the setup makes sense and you've got stacked catalysts above, so it should start knocking down those dominoes, and then all you have to do is start scaling out. Right? Instead of worrying about, oh man, I'm red right off the bat. What do? Do I double down? Do I average down? Another thing, by the way, we are adamantly opposed to is averaging down ever. Probably a great idea for investors and swing traders. Day traders, you should never, ever average down. I see other people teaching, hey, this stock is falling. I'm just going to buy 10,000 more and I'll hold it overnight. The next day it gaps down. I'm going to buy 20,000 more. You know what? That works great until it doesn't. And then one time being wrong can blow up your account. So I just see things being taught, terrible things being taught. I see so many trading careers getting ruined by this stuff I'm seeing being taught by the guys that advertise heavily. And I'll reiterate my point that I said the other day. You don't need to advertise heavily if you're not burning through members as they're burning up their accounts because they're being taught terrible habits. Does that make sense? If you're teaching good stuff, your room's going to be, if these guys were teaching good stuff, they'd have 10,000 people in the room by now, but they don't. They always have the same number. And they just keep replacing the people that are getting burned with new signups because they're advertising like crazy. Showing the jets, showing the huge gains that they're making, and so on. Anyway, I thought I said I was done lecturing, and I'm not. All right, now I am. The SPY, another red day. So you got 2 red days in a row after the gap up. Today was a fantastic day, by the way, so I didn't even really realize the SPY was red almost until this moment here. Because there was so many good stuff going on in chat. So here's my list for tomorrow. It's a watch list. I may not trade any of these, but Roku pierced 50 about, 6-7 days ago? It's all the way down below 40 here in what I call the buy zone between the 8 and the 20 day. It's time to start watching this for a potential bounce. Remember, all of my trade ideas or watch list stocks, I'm looking for a way to make money in them tomorrow. Right? Just understand that I'm not holding anything overnight. My equity curve that I've shown many times is all a result of 0 overnight holds. I'm very proud of that. So I'm always in cash every night. So don't look at any of these charts I'm showing you and say, hey, he's an idiot. That looks terrible long term. I'm looking for trades tomorrow, and that's it. Okay. CERC, another one, has had a couple huge moves, and now we're 3 days lower. All right. I want to watch that one tomorrow for potential bounce back up. ASTC, possible third day play. You had the big spike and you had an inside day. I prefer these, the red day to kind of be closer to the highs of the big day. This one's kind of in the middle to even in the lower half of the range of the big day, which bothers me a little bit, but sometimes you get a nice third day play anyway. PXS, I talked about this one already. It's made crazy moves. Now you kind of have a solid red day. Absolutely worth watching for a bounce tomorrow. I'd still like to see it come down into the what I call the buy zone between the 8 and 20-day moving average, but sometimes stocks have shorts so nervous that they don't pull back very far and then they rip again. So I definitely want to watch that one tomorrow. CVO, this one's pretty obscure, but I still want to watch it because of this 7 million share day where it ran from 77 to $1.60. It's been kind of tapering lower. But it seems to maybe have a little intraday cup and handle today. So this one over today's high would be, let's see, I'm going to say 97 cents would be my trigger price, assuming a fairly flat open tomorrow. Might just get you through $1, and if it breaks that whole number, $1, it can be an inflection point in some stocks, and this one might find some legs. So a pretty good bounce play setup, even though when you look at the daily, it looks kind of weird. MARA, just like DPW, had an afternoon rally today. Really nice rally. Closed pretty strong. And, near what I would call 550 here. It hit 540 here. And today at one point hit 538. So really looks good over this line. If you can picture a trend line here or a resistance line. But all I can say is be careful with these, They're pretty crowded, so just be careful with it. Make sure it's a proper intraday setup. A DPW, again, with that strong, they had an offering, so it gapped down, and we got an amazing, couple great amazing calls today by Wayne. And, it's extended right now, but it's making such crazy moves that I absolutely want to watch it. PZRX had a huge move here, kind of a nice second day move. It looked like it was rolling over, and now is kind of interesting, up maybe over today's high. Just give me some numbers here. Maybe over 114. I'm not in love with this one, but I am going to put it on watch, okay? Let's go back to the daily. CUR. We talked about this one already too. Just a massive move today. What a call by Jane and Wayne. We call that, I named it affectionately today, the Jane-Wayne combo. When those two are on the same stock, it's a scenario where you really want to give it a hard look. Anyway, closed so strong that it's absolutely worth watching again tomorrow, even though it's just stupid extended right now. Couple more. BIOC, really nice move on nice volume, closing pretty strong. I want to watch that one. And then OHRP had this really big move, red day. And again, I'd like to see another red day. I'd like to see it come down near the 8-day, but sometimes stocks are so strong they get one red day and they're right back up. All right, we'll add some gappers in the pre-market to this list. Sorry for babbling on tonight. Have a great night. We'll see everybody tomorrow.